They're all dead. Don't have to wait this time. 'Cause I'm giving up on my sense of humor.
Three, two, go.
Wayne's World. You gave me the Wayne's World treatment there. The reset button. We are back. Already messing it up out of the gate, but we're not doing take-twos. We don't do that here. Right here, Hibiki TMD on YouTube. Hit that red button down below. Subscribe. All the goodness, retro gaming, pro wrestling, heavy metal podcast, Terry Belay's bullshit, everything in between. Tannen, it's good to be back doing the reset button. We have such a stacked show this week, though. My God, we got the Melee in the house.
We're missing one.
-1. A 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Tannen, how's it going, man? How you been? And as always, where can everyone catch you?
Well, you can catch me at otannensbomb on Twitter. And yeah, that's about that.
Short and sweet.
You always tell people catch you. Yeah, there's that. You know, I got a Facebook too. I'm always waiting for people to track me down on that thing.
Well, my favorite's last week.
But
Like, the one time last week I let you throw it in as the host, and you like said our full names. I'm like, what? What just happened? But yeah, no.
It's almost like you never did this before.
I know. We've been doing this for like 3 years.
The funny thing is, you're the one that published it, then uncensored.
Hey.
You said our full names. Well, I'm still gonna publish it like that.
You get the Snyder cuts up in here. You get everything untapped. But you heard them, guys, already peeking in. Like I said, the Melee is in the house. First of all, my man with the plan, the man behind the logo here at Hibiki TV, and so much more awesome art, Optic, Decay. What's going on, man? Welcome to the channel once again. Where can everyone catch you, what you do, and all that good stuff?
Well, of course, I'm Optic Decay on Twitter, and you can catch me on Twitch. Sometimes, I guess, at Broken Optics. I'm mostly just kind of figuring shit out right now. So, so I'm just kind of bumming around. Yeah, that's about it. I don't have any other plugs.
Sounds good. As always, catch the Melee over there on his Twitch, whether it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's just the Melee now, whenever we can swing it, you know?
Yeah, I altered the logo, so it could be whenever now.
It looks good. And speaking of looking good, I love Doom mods, and the most Doom-centric person I know, the lover of all Dooms, last but not least, Melo DOtty. Welcome back to the channel. How you been? Where can everyone catch you?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, the ever-famous, New Jack approved, Melo DOtty, the silver medal of this show. Let me tell you, you can catch me on Twitter at Melo DOtty, and you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Melo DOtty. And yeah, I like modding things. It's fun. I like seeing how far I can push things before I break them.
I think
Yeah,
obsessed.
you got my wife modding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got my wife modding shit now, and my God, we're almost having arguments over that shit. It's like, why is this shit not working? I'm like, because you put a broken one in. Fuck you.
Oh man, do I know that feel?
Well, speaking of Doom, you are Doom crazy, like I said. Speaking of Doom, before we get to what you've been playing this week, I messaged you the other day, Tannen. Did you pick up all the Dooms on Switch that were dirt cheap this week on sale?
You know what? I actually missed out on that one. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get on and get it. I have, not the newest one, but the other one that came out. I have that for Switch, anyway. But I wanted to get Doom 3, and then I got on to get it, and I fell asleep like a lame-o. Like I turned on my Switch and passed the hell out. And so, yep, definitely missed that sale. I still think I'll pay full price for Doom 3. I'm not worried about it. Or, I'll wait until it goes on sale again, because that's just seems to be how the Nintendo store likes to work.
Well,
know,
I
they'll
think if
bring back,
anything, too,
you know,
Doom 1 and 2 full price are like $5 fucking. So it's not like you're paying like an arm and a leg
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, they are cheap as fuck.
It's amazing
Just
how
the
well.
way I like them.
It's amazing how well the original Doom 1 and 2 still hold up, and 64. They all do, in my opinion.
Oh, Doom 64.
Yeah, Doom 64 looked like it was a pretty good port.
Oh, it's phenomenal. From what I played, it's tremendous.
It is.
Well, it was pretty much rebuilt.
Yeah, it
Love
was.
that-
Oh yeah.
I had to rebuild it. I think, like, because that guy did it on PC, it was a little easier for them to do. But yeah, they had to remake the whole thing, top to bottom, I think.
Yeah, it was mostly that the way it was originally done, it was done in 4:3 fucking aspect ratio and shit. So it's kind of like, oh, we have the basic assets. Let's just do new textures and fucking make it widescreen. Fuck it.
It works.
You
It's
know,
really
so.
fun, and so I recommend any of those Doom games to anyone. But other than that, Tannen, besides Animal Crossing, because I already know, what have you been playing this week?
Well, Animal Crossing had the Mario update. Let's see here. Well, I definitely played your game of the week. I actually did that this evening, and to discover that I had already played it before, because I don't know why it didn't strike in my head, but yeah, of course I had played that one before. But I don't know. A couple days ago, I went ahead and dug around some of my shit, and I found my mini systems finally. So I went ahead and hooked up my Super Nintendo Mini, and I started really dedicating myself to Super Mario RPG again, which I've beaten before, but I really want to beat it again. So
How many
that
times?
one,
How many times have you beaten that game in your lifetime? Because I knew, like, when we first met, you like way back 20 years ago, you'd already beaten it like 3 fucking times. I feel like.
yeah, it's been a few times, but it's been a few years since I beat it though. And since I really, like, you know, when I first got the Mini, I kind of sat down and played it, but then, you know, I ended up downloading a bunch of other shit for it, and yeah, you know, doing the highly illegal thing that I'm admitting to my SNES Mini.
Fuck them.
But
They're
that's
not
the thing
paying
when you
the
have that
bills,
much
fuck
real
'em.
library. Yeah, right.
That's right. You tell
I
me.
was the one that bought it. I own this fucking thing, but yeah, I haven't like
End
picked
user
out.
agreement, bitch.
You can take your EULA and shove it.
But anyway, though, this is now. I finally want to sit down though and actually start playing through these games on there instead of just like playing a game for like 20 minutes and being like, okay, I'm going to play something else. That is the downside to these fucking systems. I mean,
It's
you
just
know,
you
I
just
collect
get
the cards
so ADD about it, and you're like, oh, I play this for like 5
Yeah.
minutes. All my options
Yeah.
at my fingertips.
Must play Metroid. Must play Zelda.
Yeah.
yeah, you know, how much can I fit into one damn day?
I know you touched
And
on
it
it
ends
a
up
little
becoming-
bit last episode. Have you put any more time? Because it's kind of a segue. You put any more time in Origami King since we last did the show?
A little bit, yeah. But playing Origami King is what made me want to go back and play Super Mario RPG.
Fair
You
enough.
want to play a better game?
Oh,
Your soundbite about Origami King last episode is one of my favorites we've ever done in almost 4 years of doing the show. And you're like, you know, the gameplay is not good, the story kind of sucks, and you know, I'm not really into it, but it's a good game. I'm like, what? What the fuck did you just sell me?
it's a beautiful looking game. I mean, graphically, it's a fucking awesome game. But yeah, it's leaving a taste to be desired. It's leaving something
Why
to be
did you have
desired.
to use the word taste?
I have no idea because I'm thinking about food right now too.
Usually you're knee deep in like 3 Arby's sliders on the show by now, so.
No, I have a half of the Jimmy John's sub in the fridge. I could still go grab.
Break time's not too far away. Anything else you've been really firing up
Too
on?
much Jimmy John. Trying to think, to be honest, because yeah, I mean, you know, other than I have been playing more of Remake, still working on that one. Yeah, I had 5 days in a row off. You think I would definitely have been doing more? Oh, I started playing Arkham Knight again because I went to Ollie's Bargain Outlet and found a prequel graphic novel, you know, for like $3, and it was really good. And I was like, I want to play through that again. So yeah, I started playing through that as well.
Right on.
How many games are you playing at once?
Oh, good many. I like to switch it up,
No,
especially if I start to
I
get.
just find it fascinating. That's all.
Oh, that's what I used to do when I was a lot younger. It was just like I would have like a little pile of games and I would switch around.
Yeah, I remember doing that.
I'm so
Keeps
strapped
it
for time
lively.
in real life at this point too. I kind of feel like I have to do that to like tickle the palate, so to speak. Like I want to use my time wisely. I have so much on the backlog as it is. Like
Yeah, I have the problem where I pour everything into one game at a time.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing.
It's like with me, like I'll pick like 3 games and then have like one night I'll play that game and then the next night I'll play this game and then every 3 or 4 nights just recycle back. I try not to do multiple games in one night.
I shout out to you for being able to do it with RPGs. Like that's the one genre. Like if I'm going to invest, especially in an old school RPG, that has to be my only fucking game I touch for that time.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I read multiple books a lot too at the same time.
Yeah, I get that. It makes sense.
So, yeah.
Well, for us three, I know one game we've definitely all played this week. We all picked up Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for $10 on sale. If you haven't yet, guys, if the sale's still going on, do it. It's totally worth it. I mean, it's the Ultimate Edition. It still holds up. The netcode was shockingly way better than we all three thought it was going to be. I'll start with Melo. Well, I mean, besides the obvious, wait, what have you been playing, Melo? You found.
What are you playing?
For those that don't know, inside joke side, Melo is an extreme modder for Doom on the PC, and by extreme I mean these are fantastic. I can't wait to play the finished product. I mean it's been what 2 or 3 weeks, and you just finished the first level in your first episode. Like
I've been working on the first level for basically a month, but I've also been learning programming, texturing, spriting, and all that stuff on the side. So it's been a full plate.
very nice, very nice. And I, man, the patience.
I started level 2 though. We're getting somewhere.
There you go, vines all day. Have you found
All
any other time though besides Doom for any gaming? Other games, I mean.
You'd be surprised. I actually don't play a lot of Doom right now. Most of my time spent in Doom is coding it.
Yeah, all that time.
New
fixing
Vegas.
Doom.
Right, like New Vegas. Yeah, New Vegas. Always New Vegas. Fallout 4, of course. I've been playing a little Mega Man 4 and a little Mega Man 6 on the side, just when I feel like it. And of course, as always, if I got an hour to kill and I just feel like playing something easy, I pop in Double Dragon 1, 2, or 4. I will not play 3.
My favorite part about what you've been playing on your end, Melo, is like you just got done asking Tannen how he plays one more game at a time, and you're playing New Vegas and Fallout 4 at the same fucking time. Christ.
Yeah,
To be fair, I'm modding
really
4 more than
how you can multitask. Well, here's me multitasking.
Yeah.
I'm like modding 4 more than I'm playing it, but yeah, that is fair.
I've never played New Vegas, and there's no gray area in that game. I feel like Tannen. I feel like people either love or hate New Vegas.
I mean, I
New
don't like
Vegas.
it.
Can I fight them?
I'd go as far as to say I liked 3 more than New Vegas, but I still liked New Vegas.
Get out.
Can I fight him? No, that's okay.
Well, you guys can all fight me because I've never played 3 or New Vegas. I've only ever played 4.
3.
So now I'm gonna get piled on
You
and the
didn't
shit
play
beaten out of me.
No,
Jesus.
I don't pile
how
on
did you
anybody
miss
that hasn't played a Fallout. I
No,
can
Because I was a Skyrim guy. I was an Elder
Well,
Scrolls
they
guy.
look grimy. They look
I think the
boring. They
reaction-
look drab.
I think the reaction is more like like those ASPCA ads where they play the Sarah McLachlan song and it's just you holding a copy of Fallout 4.
You want to
Please
make it
help-
sadder? Fallout
Please help him.
76.
Please help him play a better game.
For what it's worth, for the time I spent with Fallout 4, and I put a good bit of time in Fallout 4. I don't hate it, but I can see the gripes with any goddamn Bethesda game like that. I get it. They all
Well,
have
4 especially, where the plot's so goddamn thin and the character's talking for you.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I modded that out immediately.
Yeah, but you know what I always do in like Fallout New Vegas is I like being an idiot savant in the thing where you drop your intelligence all the way down, so all you do is you just talk like
Get the best speed check.
and everyone talks to you like you're fucking disabled.
Yeah, look, it's like you answer something, they're like, "Is something wrong with you, son?"
But what I do is I then jack my luck all the way. I put all the points into fucking luck, so I just end up just being like a god, but I'm like a dummy god that just. And yes, I meant that correctly. A dummy god.
Ooh.
Yeah, wordplay.
So basically,
yeah,
you
so
turned
it's
on
just-
Stephen Hawking mode, is what you did.
Well, Stephen Hawking was actually intelligent. My character was like basically a rock with a gun.
Oh, one more thing on your list, Melo. I have Double Dragon 4. I got it when it came out a few years ago, and it's not that I hate that game. It's just so fucking boring. It's not even middle of the road. It's just like, God, middle of the boredom.
The
Like,
only
it's-
way that game gets entertaining at all is you have to do the tower mode. And I didn't even understand why that would make the game fun until I got about 10 floors in and I beat a guy and it was like, you've unlocked Williams to use in your game. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? So then you can like play through the game as Williams. And it goes like, how many people can I unlock? And it turns out everybody. Like everybody you could think of in the Double Dragon Mythos, you can unlock them. And a bunch of new people too.
Yeah.
And
There's a more amazing thing. Someone made a fucking mod game of Double Dragon, where they edited in the WrestleFest version.
I love that game so much.
It's like the WrestleFest version of like Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. So
Yeah,
so you're
Macho
running-
Man and Hogan.
Can it be
So-
Slaughter? You can't be Sergeant Slaughter?
can't be Slaughter.
Ah.
I don't think they've added Slaughter
like
yet, no.
most people, they forgot about Slaughter.
Well, there's some of
So-
them that are bad guys. Like I don't know if you can choose Honky Tonk Man yet or not,
Love
but
that
I know
cheap
he's
shot.
a bad guy in one of the levels.
Well, I have my reasons.
That's an awesome mod. I still like that mod, the recent mod. Did you see that one, Tannen, where, what was it, Yakuza over Streets of Rage 2 or something? Yakuza mod?
No, I did not see that.
It was an all-new
I have
game.
it on. It was on PC. It was given away for free for like a week, and it's called Streets of Kamurocho, where you play as fucking Goro Majima or Kazuma Kiryu, and you just fuck people up, like Yakuza style, and the fucking thing. It's fucking great.
This is badass.
That's really cool.
I should probably do like a fucking. It was weird. It was a very weird week. It was like Sega doing some kind of fucking big thing, and on PC they were just like, they gave away a fucking prototype of a golden axe they were making, but like it was never remotely finished. Like it is barely a game, but they're like, here's basically a proof of concept that a game was gonna happen at some point. And I was like, all right.
It was like, all right, as janky as it was all right. I was like, that's a shame. I wish they did that.
Yeah, it was more like, it was a proof of concept thing. But the Streets of Kamurocho was the big thing that they gave away that week.
Speaking of Yakuza, it's about to get salty up in here. Last but not least, Optic. What have you been playing?
Well, I have been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, and I noticed that this week was a big release of the PlayStation 5 port. And here's the thing. With a lot of like the PlayStation 5, not PlayStation 4 port, PlayStation 5 port, okay. But when they put out a lot of these games that are like on the old platform, on the new one, there's I think 3 games that don't carry the saves over, and one of them is Yakuza Like a Dragon. They don't carry the save over at all. You have to start over from the very fucking beginning, which I just put fucking 70 hours in the fucking game. I'm not gonna fucking start that shit over. So fuck that. But like it's that and Spider-Man won't allow you to bring your saves over.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's a couple of fucking games that do that, but like for the most part, they have the saves, being able to fucking transfer. I don't know what the problem is, why they can't just fucking do that by default. But no, they were just like, fuck you. So I downloaded this fucking thing, and I started it up, and I go, and I'm like, it just says new game, and I was just immediately fucking angry because it was like, god damn, I got the shiny fucking new version.
Oh, that would suck so
Not
much.
angry enough though, because you started a whole new fucking game.
Well, I wanted to at least see how it fucking ran, and then I did, and then I deleted it off my fucking hard drive because fuck that shit.
Well, the people want to know.
He was still spiteful enough to delete it, but he had to see how it worked.
Well, the people want to know too. Is it much better than PS5 upgrade? How is it?
The PS5 upgrade is actually really goddamn good. It's
Nice.
it's running fucking full 4K, 60 frames a second. It's nice and cleaned up. The textures aren't so muddy. So it's like, all right, this looks really fucking cool. It runs really fucking nice. But then I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, but I'm not gonna just redo everything. Like fuck that. Just like fuck, man.
Tannen, you ever get into the Yakuza series?
Mm-hmm.
You played this one, the newest
Yeah.
one?
I have not played the newest one though.
The newest one.
But still,
The greatest example I can give you of how this game is different than all the other ones is that there's a conversation right at the beginning where the main character talks about he really likes Dragon Quest and he wants to be the hero of his own story. and that's the only reason why it's a Japanese RPG.
Well, I mean, Dragon Quest is like a fucking religion over there, for one. So.
No, but it's actually a plot point in this fucking thing. Like when he finds a bat in the fucking street, he lifts it up like the goddamn Master Sword, like pulling it out of a fucking rock, and it's just like I'm the hero. And then every time he fucking gets into combat, how they explain them changing into something else, and you do like the combat screen is because he's fucking delusional.
Total fan service, though. Love to see it.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I've always wanted a game like that because, like, yeah, everybody's had a friend that's played games like that when they were very young, and my God, I had a friend.
Melo, I think you would love this game because
it sounds amazing.
It's basically a Japanese RPG about Japanese RPGs using the melodramatic Yakuza framework.
Yay!
And George Decay is in it.
Oh my God.
I'm sold.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What else you been sticking your teeth to besides Yakuza and obviously Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in our game of the week?
I've been fucking with Street Fighter 5 a little bit here and there. Because the Dan just came out, so of course trying to figure out shit. But I mean that and like I've been playing Hades a lot.
I
Hades
see that.
I didn't mean to get into that.
Every time I log on my
It
Switch,
is-
you're playing that shit. I see that.
Every time I like see it, I'm like, I need to play this.
It is really goddamn good. Like, just imagine like a Diablo style kind of like run through dungeon kind of shit, but it's all a roguelike. So you play through, you die, you fucking come back, and you just kind of build yourself up as you keep, trying
Wait,
to push.
it's a roguelike?
Yes.
Oh wow, I'm way more interested now. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fucking it's a total fucking roguelike thing, but it's like the characters are actually really good.
Nice.
Like there's actual character work and like voice acting and like all the like there's a plot, and it's like that's usually with those roguelikes it's like, oh, let's just have a sentence of fucking plot and then the rest is just bash your head into a rock until you finish it.
Like Rogue Legacy.
Yeah, you see stuff like that, but it's like this one is like, there's actual like character development in it and stuff, and it's like
very cool.
It's like, oh, all right. Yeah.
Do you have Hades, Tannen? I can't remember if we ever talked about that.
Hades. No, I do not.
I don't either. I need to check it out.
It's on PC and the Switch. It's not on anything else yet.
Yeah, I saw that it was on the Switch. I didn't see that.
It's really good on Switch.
I'm gonna check it out, definitely. Myself, obviously, talked about the Dooms earlier. Been playing, and that's one thing we were talking about a little bit Melo yesterday. I think it's not a shitload, but the available mods that Bethesda gives you on the retro Dooms, it's all the kick-ass ones, like the ones that are.
I was actually really impressed with the selection. Like, there's a few like that I wish were on there, but I understand why they're not because they're full of stolen stuff. But like, all that stuff's like stuff that they made everything themselves, so they were able to put it on there.
Fucking Romero, the Romero mods on there.
Sigil.
Yep. Yeah, but I've been playing Wrecker, the medieval
Which one?
Wrecker, where you're on like pirate
Wrecker.
ships and you got a fucking crossbow. It's really good. It's really good.
Back to Saturn X episode 1 and 2 are really good as well. I was really surprised to see those on there.
I'm gonna try to knock them all out. I'm not gonna beat them all for fuck's sake, but I'm gonna try
Is
them all.
Plutonia Experiment on there?
Yes.
Like, did you get Final Doom with it?
Yes, you did.
Good.
Yep. That was the latest
right.
one actually they updated.
Sweet.
Besides that, I was messaging you right in the group chat right before this on Twitter. Zakaria however the fuck you say it on the Switch. Obviously, Tannen already knows I've been playing Star Wars Pinball. That's a given. But Zakaria Pinball, it's the legendary Zakaria tables. The three brothers, all that. The retro as fuck pinball machines. Right now, it's a steal. I mean, it's one of those. You get the free download. Technically, you get to play on every table. Just the ones you haven't bought yet. You have like a score limit, and it cuts you off. But it's a nice way. I like when these game companies do that, especially pinball games. You at least get to try the table before you buy it.
Yeah.
But right now, I got 27 retro tables, no shit, for $2. It's really good. One thing about the old school pinball tables, though, they're frustrating as hell, and they're hard as fuck, and the gaps between the flippers sometimes are really infuriating, but you get what you pay for, you're signing up for with that. I guess other than that, man, just really that, some pinball. Super Mario 3D All-Stars, I'm almost at the end of Super Mario Galaxy. Just at the I'm a cunt hair away of beating that. I gotta agree, man. They're just solid ports across the boards. I know a lot of us have that on the Switch. I mean, Tannen and I talked about it last episode, where the noticing the sensitivity on Mario 64, and people either shit their pants or like it's fine. But Tannen and I are more in the camp of it's fine. It's not game breaking. For either one of you guys that have played the 3D All Stars remake for the Switch, Nintendo 64, do you think they fucked it up control wise porting it over, or do you think it's alright?
I believe they did kind of fuck it up because it doesn't have the same feel to it, especially when you're trying to, like in the like one of the first levels where you can kind of sneaking past the sleeping fucking piranha plant.
Yeah.
That's where you can really tell. Like any of those times where you have to do that slow movement, it doesn't work as intended. Which can be frustrating for some parts, but like if you're really just just bouncing and trying to just run goddamn through it, it's fine.
Yeah, I found it was a thing you could get used to and adjust to. It was like some things, like some ports like that, it doesn't work. Like, oh god, what's the name of those zombie games that are on the Xbox? Dead Rising.
Yeah.
The first one of those on PS4, they ruined it just because the roll is way too sensitive.
Right. Never played it on PS4.
Yeah,
Glad I didn't.
But the second one's good because
to be fair, most people didn't.
Yeah, that's true. And as far as Galaxy goes, I never played the first one when it came out on the original Wii, simply because I was just in that mindset. A lot of motion control games I just took a piss on, had no interest in, but I can only imagine how much better it is now. I love how they incorporate the touchscreen if you're playing handheld for Galaxy, just to get star bits, shoot star bits, all that good shit. It works. It's great. And I know a lot of people talked about some. People don't like Galaxy. It's not the most. I mean, it's kind of creative, but it's not like, yes, the story, it's all right, but then some of the levels are just so basic, bitch. Here's a fire level. Here's a fucking sand level. Here, and like, there's
was there really a lot of hate for that particular game? Because I don't remember there being like really hate for it. It was just that Super Mario Galaxy 2 was that concept but done way better.
Yeah, they definitely improved the shit out of it.
Which one had the really dark story to it?
Well, the thing is, they were both basically the same. It was like Super Mario Galaxy 2 was originally planned as essentially the latter half of of the first Galaxy, like basically like they were gonna do like an add-on or something like that. But at the time, DLC was still kind of a new concept.
Masked it.
Well, yeah, it was kind of a new concept at the time because, like, I mean, like you had DLC coming out for like Xbox and like PlayStation 3 at the time, whatever. But they were like, well, we want to do this thing, but we don't really have a system to do like a DLC thing. So why don't we just make a fucking new release? And they just released it like a year later, and it was like it was way more improved, and it was basically their fully realized concept of what Galaxy was really supposed to be.
Tannen, I still don't fucking know why they didn't just throw Galaxy 2 on there while they're at it. I mean, Christ.
Because I can already tell you why. Because they're going to re-release Galaxy 2 probably on its own and charge $60 for it.
Or they'll put 2 other games with it. And they'll call it like the All-Star Collection 2 or something.
Yeah.
Bitches.
They'll probably put that on there.
Mario on it or something and charge you $40.
Yeah.
Or re-release the Paper Marios, which they definitely should do.
Oh, there you go. That's what's on the disc.
That's definitely coming.
I want Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one you want, but they're going to put that on 3rd disc because that's the one everyone wants.
Exactly.
Nintendo doing Nintendo things.
Oh yeah, I've played enough Nintendo for long enough to understand what they're going to do when they start doing things. Like, all right, as soon as they start chopping this up and selling it to me in pieces, they're going to.
Speaking of Nintendo, Tannen,
big Zelda announcement, and it's what nobody asked for.
You knew? How did you know I was going right to the Direct? Go for it. We had a Nintendo Direct finally.
Oh yeah.
35th anniversary Zelda. Everyone's salivating. Oh my god! Give me what I want. Give me what I need. What the fuck do we get, Tannen?
What is it?
We got fucking Wind Waker, or not Wind Waker. I would love to have had Wind Waker on the Switch. No, we got Skyward Sword on the fucking Switch. Skyward Sword.
Why?
None of us asked.
It's because it is the anniversary of that game. Like, it's actually a solid. It's like straight up 10th anniversary of that game.
Oh, okay.
Well, it follows their release schedule of what they were doing
What
originally
they would
with
do.
the. No, because when they released like Twilight Princess again, and they released Wind Waker again, it was on the 10th anniversaries of those games.
Yeah,
Did they ever
that's
make a
true.
remake of Minish Cap?
No.
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 Give me that. I want that.
They did re-release Minish Cap for the Wii U. You could buy it off the store, which it was actually pretty cool to play it that way.
Mhm.
Well, I
But,
got it through the ambassador program with the 3DS. Because I was one of those asshole early adopters, where I paid too much for it, then they cut the price because they had like no games for it for like 6 months, and the fucking eShop they half the fucking titles were canceled by the time they started the fucking eShop.
Yeah.
So they were just like, oh hey, we feel bad, so we're gonna make it cheaper for everyone else, and we're gonna give you fucking 20 games. There's 20 random games, and they won't be released on the 3DS in any fashion afterwards. But then some of them were, but it was. Yeah, it was like but it was like 10 fucking GBA games. So it was like, oh, Metroid Fusion, fucking,
Nice.
Minish Cap, and like all. I'm like, you couldn't even give me fucking Metroid Zero, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I paid the extra fucking, what was it, like fucking $60-$70? Yeah, fucking pricks.
Now, a lot of the stuff in the news about Skyward Sword is they're going to retweak some things. It's not going to be at all like it was, like obviously, like as motion centric. So I guess
Are we getting a Zack Snyder cut of Skyward Sword?
looks that way.
Well, what it is they made it so that you could actually play it with a normal controller, like how it should have been in the fucking first place.
That would have been nice.
But they also have the option of doing like the Joy-Con, like you did with the fucking Wiimote.
And
Yeah, still the concept of it is though your sword play is instead used with the right analog stick, and I'm not a fan of that. I just want to hit a fucking button.
Doesn't Link always use his left hand unless he's facing one specific direction?
They switched it for the Wii. That's why. No, that's why when Twilight Princess came out, they switched it the hand, because he's always a lefty in every game. He's a lefty
Unless he faces one direction. It's something to do
they
with their
made
religion.
him. No, it has nothing to do
It's a
with
limitation of the console, but that's how they wrote
Yeah.
it.
No, what they made it that way because most people are right-handed, so they switched his hand, his dominant hand.
Oh, absolutely. It makes perfect sense
Yeah.
from that standpoint. It just makes me mad because I know he's a lefty.
Yeah.
Shout out to us lefties, Mello. I feel you.
Yeah, but you want to know? You want to know what they did? My wife's a lefty too.
Joke's on you. I'm ambidextrous.
But here's the funny
fuck
thing
you.
about that though, was that instead of just like pointing the game and just switching the hand or whatever, they literally just flipped the whole game. So
They
if you
mirrored
play,
it.
yeah, if you play like the GameCube version of Twilight Princess and you play like the fucking
Yeah, it's coming back to me
yeah,
now.
they're
I remember
the
this.
Wii version, everything is just literally just flipped.
Yeah, it's just mirrored.
Yeah, just straight up just mirror. And I'm like, that is the funniest and possibly laziest way to fucking just switch it. It's just
Yeah,
like,
I thought
all right.
Mega Man X5 was lazy, but that's way fucking lazy.
It's up there with going back through Symphony of the Night upside down in a way in the cast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Crap
yeah.
over. No. Well, the thing is, Symphony of the Night, they actually changed the rooms, like the actual like.
They made it
look.
interesting enough that it didn't feel like weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes to the rooms that like the room's layout was the same, but like. the
Yeah, no,
actual
they didn't change
decor.
nothing for that game. I remember now. They just mirrored it, and it's just weird.
Well, when you have two guests and 4 people, I didn't get my math right, you tend to go over time. Real quick, before we get to the break, biggest one, Tannen, a shock to nobody, Tannen. It was announced the other day, E3 is done, RIP, F in the chat for E3, it's E3's done. We were talking about this off air before we fired it up. The nail was in the coffin when Nintendo pulled out initially, I feel like, we were saying.
Yeah, I think that was the start of it, and then it's like I said earlier, like Nintendo was like, well, we're not showing up, we're going to do our own thing. And then Sony was like, well, then fuck that, we're going to do our own thing. Then even EA was like, well, fuck you guys, we'll do our own thing. And then meanwhile, Microsoft's just like, oh shit, we have center stage here. But like, we're gonna get in on this shit. It's gonna be the Microsoft show now. And that's basically what E3 ended up becoming. Which is kind of sad. I mean, that was one of those things. Every year I would look forward to it, and you know, it was, I want to say like starting 5 years ago is when we started to see that decline, and just everybody kind of doing their own thing. It was always pretty cool to even, I always enjoyed watching the pissing contest between the three juggernauts. Like,
I was only there for the cringe, really. Like, whenever they would bring up a Japanese developer who didn't really know English too well, and they would just awkwardly just say the name of the game and then just make a face at you.
Yeah.
Wave at it, kind of.
Is the last time Nintendo was at E3
is
is when the Japanese developer dressed up as like a professor from Splatoon or something weird like that? Was that the last Nintendo?
Was that? Well, they did that, but then they also did it in a direct immediately afterwards.
Right. Yeah.
But showed more of it because mostly their E3 that year was them advertising that they were doing Nintendo Direct, so they showed up for like 5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. Fucking did a thing.
Yeah. They showed up. It was like, hey, by the way, we're gonna be doing our own shit.
So I think the real cringe was, you know, like when you're talking about like the classic moments of E3 are always like the remember when they were doing Wii Music and they had like that weird Indian guy with the funny hair you know, pretending to play. You know, and of course there's the classic what was it, the game Genji for like PS3 or something like that, where they're talking about how it's a historic simulation, like I'm fucking up words today. It's basically like a whole simulator of like, you know, like ancient Japan, and it's like, oh, it's all historically accurate, and then he's fighting a crab. And it hit the weak point for more damage on this giant enemy crab in this historical simulation.
maybe crab was like a reference to that time or something.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe like back then they really did have a fucking problem with giant fucking crabs.
There's a giant crab problem.
I mean, thank God it's fucking over, because we wouldn't be able to handle that shit now. We can't even handle.
No.
We can't even handle germs.
Well, I know.
Are you kidding me? We would be eating the shit out of giant crabs if they existed.
I was about to say, it's two Maryland boys on this show, man. We please let there be giant fucking crabs. Tear that shit up. Where's the old bay?
We would equip ourselves with, you know, freaking sledgehammers and just go at them.
Bunch of fucking Gallagher mallets. Give me that crab.
I mean, my favorite was always the Sony ones, because when Kaz Hirai was there, because you know, whenever he came out, it was always like this. It was like a weird grandpa who was just like, hey, I just learned like a thing you like, so I'm just gonna come out and just say the name, and then just kind of like look at you and like do that uncomfortable smile, you know, like hoping that you approve of what the fuck he just showed you. And like his famous one was when he came out and he introduced Ridge Racer for the fucking PSP.
If you can guess what the title is going to be by the way this game will actually start. As a matter of fact, this screen also brings back memories for me as well. I'm sure it does for some of you, and I'm sure you're dating yourself by saying that you remember. I don't know if you remember this particular opening. This was actually on the original PlayStation game as well when it was loading the game. Of course, I'm not a very good player even there. Game is powered by Namco. It's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer. Remember that one? All right, so let me go right ahead, get right into the game.
And he just came out and just goes, Ridge Racer, and everyone just goes, all right, and he's just like,
cool.
and it's just, No, but the thing is, they just stared at him, and it was like fucking crickets, because he's just sitting there holding the PSP up with the game, and then he's just like, all right, I guess I'll just continue to just do this. Then I'll go fuck myself.
Hopefully, I was able to find a clip to splice in on the episode for you guys. If not, sorry, I tried my best. But yeah, that was hilarious, and we're back. No, I think with that, the Nintendo pulling out, you know, just being the Microsoft show the past couple of years, and just being unneeded in general, I think that the combination of obviously the pandemic, it was just, you know, it's done, and it's
Well, I'm looking here though. Yeah, the last Nintendo was at 2019's E3, and that was like one announcement after another of huge shit. But then they were like pretty much like peace out. Like they just showed their shit back to back. You got the Breath of the Wild sequel that got announced, and Luigi's Mansion 3, and freaking Link's Awakening remake too, which, you know, came out shortly after that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had a bunch of big announcements, and then they were like, "Yep, bye."
Peace. Mic drop.
Not doing this next year. I tell you that much.
It's an end of an era, but I mean, like I said, I feel like we're way past that.
Good fucking riddance.
Thank you. I mean, the amount of douchebags that flock to it, and just the VIP exclusiveness that it became, and all that bullshit. End of an era, but an era best left in the 90s and shit.
I mean,
and really, any day you could have less Jeff Keighley, the better.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, though, I mean, E3 in its heyday, I mean, it wasn't just a video game thing. I mean, they would introduce even new technologies at it and stuff. Like, it was pretty much like the World's Fair. And
but that's what CES is for.
Tap. Yeah, it's just like all of it ended up spiraling into different shit.
Okay, I have another favorite E3 moment. I'm sorry. I remember there was a fucking YouTuber named like Jesse Yellen who was like a
the
big
guy that
deal.
dubbed over it.
And fucking EA hired this guy. They were like, this guy's a big personality on fucking YouTube. Like he's like a like this guy's got like millions of subs. He's fucking like he's the guy, right? They have him come out, and he doesn't know how to do a basic fucking promo for a game, and he's just, yeah, hi. It's just like, okay, say your name. Okay, he says his name. This is a game.
So it's like Tannen plugging my Twitter every week, is what you're saying.
No, okay. Tannen plugging your Twitter? 1,000 times better.
Oh my god.
1,000 times better. Like this guy was fucking like deer in the headlights, staring at the camera, like someone's holding his parents at gunpoint, and he's just and you could just hear the EA executives like already opening the windows to jump out.
Well, we've all had our favorite E3 moments, end of an era, like we said, and that's it. Rest in peace, E3. But that's not it, because when we come back, Tannen, I feel like it's going to turn into a little tennis doubles action, because I think two of us are on a side of the fence with game, and the other two on a whole other side. When we come back, Tannen, it was my turn this week. Are you ready for Game of the Week?
Mm-hmm.
I'm convinced. Let's fucking do it. Stick around. The reset button when we come back. Our Game of the Week, Shadow Dancer for the SEGA Genesis. We are back. The reset button returns. Special guest, the Melees on Optic and Melo. Good to have you back. It's that time, Tannen. Once again this week. Thank God Almighty, it was my turn to pick this week. We're not going to Bedrock. We're not gonna get too old for this shit with Riggs and Murtaugh. My game of the week was a good game. At least half of us think. Shadow Dancer for the SEGA Genesis, Tannen.
Yeah, Shadow Dancer, not to be confused with the 2012 thriller/drama.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Not at all. Yeah. It's technically an entry in the Shinobi series, Tannen.
Yes, it is actually, and it would be the final arcade game in the Shinobi series, actually, following the original Shinobi itself.
Can't imagine why.
I thought it was good. I don't know. I played, of course, I played my version on the Switch, and I enjoyed it.
Same.
It worked out really well for me.
Did you save states like an asshole like I did?
No, I didn't.
It's pretty bad when you got to use save states to get to level 2. I mean, I don't cheat. Like, I don't fucking, you know, I don't like replenish my fucking lives. I don't want to play over the. That's my biggest gripe about Shadow Dancer, Tannen, is when you die, you got to go all the fucking way back. I hate that shit.
Oh yeah, well, it's just like the arcade, you know. But at the same time, though, unlike the arcade, you can't just pump more quarters in and keep going.
Oh, the arcade was actually good.
Yeah, that's another glaring thing too about this. This was tweaked. It's different than the arcade version. They gave you like a meter for your dog and just some enemy placement tweaks, and I think some of the level designs are flat out redone. Released in 1990 for the Genesis, though. I mean, at the time, I never played this as a kid. I never had it, never rented it. I didn't play this till like my late teens, early 20s. But even, I mean, I loved it. I fell in love with it. I still love it. I think it's responsive. It's no like Return of Shinobi or Shinobi 3, but I think it's fun. I think there's a hell of a challenge there, but it's one of those rewarding challenges. You know, Tan, it's like, for me, it's like a Contra or a Castlevania 3. Like, if you get somewhere in it, you feel good about it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our guests don't feel the same, though, unfortunately.
Well, when you say rewarding, it's like
Badge
saying
of honor.
that like someone shitting in your hand is rewarding. I mean, really, this fucking game, man. It's like, I played the other Shinobis and I really liked the Shinobi. I even like the fucking, like the later ones with the fucking full motion video, awkward shit, and like those are like nice, solid fucking games. Nice and speedy. They actually felt good to fucking play. This one was like, yeah, it's responsive, but it's kind of stiff, and they really do shit with the fucking enemy placement where they place them in ways where like sometimes you'll get shot from off screen, or you're just walking and then like, it'll just happen, and it's always like right at the end they'll be like, oh look, a manhole, like that first fucking level, manhole cover just fucking blows up like right there, like right at the end as you're leaving.
40-foot high period,
like,
blood shooting out of it.
Yeah, it's like dumb shit like that. It's just like, what I never liked arcade ports on consoles unless they were like like Metal Slug or some shit, because at least you can just continue whatever, like who gives a shit. But like stuff like that where they tried to water down like the experience so that it could fit onto the cartridge, and they get it out there and you're just like, it is a pale comparison to what you have in the arcade, to the point where like, no, Shadow Dancer. Here's the thing. I actually tested this. I played a little of the arcade one, and you know what? 1,000 times better. 1,000 times. Like, it's night and day.
I can agree with that, but that's like saying Double Dragon. The arcade's better than the NES version. Of course, it's better than the NES version.
No, actually, the arcade version of the first Double Dragon was terrible. It was skippy as shit.
The first one was laggy, and the second one was just like a remake of the first one.
Yeah, basically.
The second one on NES is a better game.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. Second one is solid, but the thing is, what it feels to me is that Sega, they were like, hey, we kind of want to like take this good arcade game. Can we find people on the '80s version of Wish that can like fucking do this for us?
Come on, it's not that bad.
And so they got some from some Indian sweatshop to fucking make this fucking bad port of a fucking arcade game.
I think for me, guys, I think we might agree across the board on this. I think the best arcade port for the Sega Genesis, hands down, was Strider. Fair to say?
I can't think of a better one. It's a pretty good choice.
It was decent, yeah.
Another ninja game. Maybe we'll get there someday, Tannen. Well, Tannen, here's my question to you. How far did you get? Because I know you only really fired it up for a little bit tonight. Did you get to at least stage 2?
Yeah.
So I really love their take on the bonus stage on this. You're just literally like free falling like an asshole, shooting ninjas on your way down.
The bonus stage is the best part.
It's the best part of the game, and I feel like, yeah, I agree, and I feel like little kid me would have thought that was fucking awesome.
I mean, it was at least better than that one where it did like that, like in the very first one where they had that first person thing where you're throwing the ninja stars, which is like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but it also fucking cheats.
Yeah, I was also disappointed in the lack of Marilyn Monroe pictures in the background, like the first Shinobi.
Yeah, I kind of wanted Spider-Man, like in the first Shinobi.
This is much better than fucking Shinobi on NES, in my opinion. Other panelists tonight, Melo. I know you're not a fan of Shadow Dancer, but is the hate flow? Is it as flow and as strong as Optic's hate for this, or do you think it's 50-50 for you?
Let me tell you something.
Oh, God.
Lean into it. Lean into it, Melo!
My first thought upon playing this game was, oh wow, he invited me back on the show, and this is what he has me play? Wow, he must fucking hate me or something.
You
Like,
should have
what
been
the
here.
hell?
You should have been here fucking 2 weeks ago when it was Lethal Weapon. You got off lucky. Christ.
No,
wow,
you're 100% right.
wow,
But
this is
as
a
I got to
hate
playing
crime.
it made me think of it reminded me a lot well my second impression was I thought I was sitting down to play like Shinobi and not like Contra 3 the Alien Wars, but all right, I'm down. Oh, I start back at the start again. Well, this is great.
Wait, you
So
didn't
anyway,
like
I get to
Contra
the end of the first level, the sewer manhole kills me. Oh, that was cool. I liked that. All right, I'm beating this out of spite. I got to level 2-1, walked 10 feet, got killed by something off screen, said done, and turned it off.
But at least it doesn't pull the Ninja Gaiden shit where they like sometimes the fucking guys won't even be there because of flicker issues, or it'll just be like randomly play. Like at least it's trial and error and it's the same fucking spots. I feel like, and it just...
My actual thought on the game as a whole, like I didn't hate it. Like it's functional.
It starts.
It's the only thing I don't like about it is the pacing, because you have to kind of inch along or you die.
Right.
It's one of those games. It's like, as I say, it reminds me of Mega Man 9, a game I like very much.
Yeah.
But it took me 7 months to beat that game, because the only way you're ever going to beat Mega Man 9 is to memorize the enemy patterns, where they are, what they're going to do when you see them. If you do that, Shadow Dancer is a very beatable game. I just think it's little punishing.
You just got to buckle the fuck down. It's one of those games. I agree with that about the pacing. Tannen, I feel like for me, the best Ninja retro game of all time is still probably Ninja Gaiden 2. And I think what makes those games so fun is you can just, I don't want to say speed run it because I'm not a fucking jackass, but like you just, the flow of that, you can kind of breeze through your hop and your flip.
The Gaiden games definitely had a good flow to them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, then they did Ninja Gaiden 3, and then they had that fucking... The thing is, I beat that game a number of times.
You beat the last boss in 3 fucking forms. Holy shit!
I have completed Ninja Gaiden 3 a couple of times.
My God.
I mean, I couldn't be fucking asked to do it fucking now.
Tip of the hat.
But fucking like, no, when I was a kid, I didn't really have a lot of games, when I was a kid. So it was like when I got Ninja Gaiden 3, it was like that's what I had for like months. So that was it. So I played that fucking thing, and dude. The game itself, it's like, yeah, it's hard, but like getting through most of the game is not that fucking bad.
You can learn it.
It's not that bad at all. There's not even a lot to really learn. It's just like, basic fucking avoidance when you see something. You knowing like at least like a handful of patterns. But like when you get to the end, it's like, okay, you have those patterns, you have that stuff, but oh yeah, the first stage is wind. So you have a really strong wind pushing you off of shit, and if you get touched once, you fly off that fucking shit.
Yeah, and like Ninja Gaiden 2, at least they let you build up to at least level 2 or 3 before they threw the wind in there.
I always hated those fucking wind stages. They were fucking stupid.
Go ahead, sorry.
It was best done in 2, because it was like
built around it.
Well, they built around it by not having the enemies be super cheap in those areas. I mean, yeah, there was some cheapness, but it was one of those things where, like, the enemy placement was a little more sparse when they were doing the wind parts. So that was like, okay, so you can contend with what's going on, because they also did that level where everything goes dark.
Yeah.
So it's like it's more of focusing on your jumping and navigating through the level as opposed to fighting shit. Whereas Ninja Gaiden 1 and fucking 3 were just like, oh yeah, here's this fucking part where we're just gonna throw a bunch of wind at you, just fucking have respawning birds. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Did you like Mario 1? Here's the lost levels. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
This game, Shadow Dancer, didn't actually sell well on the Genesis, and it's. This goes.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm going somewhere with this. It's confusing to me because the arcade game is called Shadow Dancer: The Secret of Shinobi, and by the time I just made it to Genesis, it was just called Shadow Dancer. Here's my thing.
Shadow Dancer, yeah.
Shinobi was a popular series. Why not just call it The Secret of Shinobi? The fuck, Shadow Dancer? Ballet?
That's the thing. It was 1990. You said, right?
Yes.
Well, the thing is that Shinobi was having diminishing returns at the time. It wasn't really selling super well. That's why they kind of dropped the Shinobi.
Right. Okay.
I was gonna say for 1990.
Because you are Shinobi, and that's Shinobi. You're still him. It's just really weird.
Shinobi.
Is it because there's an animal with you? We just got to rethink our fucking inks and change the whole name, or I guess maybe like you just said, they were worried because the first one didn't do as great.
Well, Revenge of Shinobi, it was one of those games where like Revenge of Shinobi was their big. It was a big marquee game when the thing came out. It was like those early Genesis heads. It was Altered Beast, Revenge of Shinobi, and fucking Holyfield Boxing.
Super Thunderblade, the greatest Genesis game of all time. God,
those are your big marquee titles when the thing came out. Like they were really pushing hard on that. But the thing is that the least selling one was Shinobi.
Tannen, please don't give me Super Thunderblade next week. Go ahead. Sorry, Optic.
Yeah, it's like when you're talking in terms of like success in the United States, Shinobi didn't do incredibly well. Because at that point, people were kind of ninja'd out. Because we're talking the end of like the ninja craze in movies, where like every fucking movie was like American Ninja this or fucking Ninja that bullshit. Like,
we were balls deep in the Ninja Turtles phenomenon too in this.
It was kind of at that point they're just like, whatever, who cares?
This was the zombie genre of modern times. Guys that weren't around at this time remember this time. Ninjas was the zombies back then. Fair to say. Because even Ninja Gaiden actually had a solid decline in sales for the series. So it was like
by 3, absolutely.
Oh, the first one did incredibly well. The second one did pretty well, but it didn't do as good as the first one. And then the third one barely sold shit.
It almost seems like the second one had distribution issues too, but I did see that one way more than I saw the third one.
Well, there was a chip shortage that year. That's why Super Mario Brothers 3 came out a little later and cost $90.
Yeah.
People forget that when people complain about game prices now, they're like, "Oh, fucking the PS5 games are $70." It's like, dude,
should have seen when this shit was new. Wing Commander comes out, I gotta upgrade my whole computer.
Earthbound was $100 because it had a fucking book in it.
No, but I'm talking like something like the port of the original Street Fighter. That was almost $100 at retail. Like we're talking back that people like to talk about.
Imagine opening that up Christmas morning.
Now, if you adjust that for inflation, that's basically the price of a system right there.
Yeah.
So like, if this fucking game system is like $500, that's fucking crazy. It's like, dude, fucking the original PlayStation was like $600.
It's also shit too, just like that. Why none of us as kids, maybe I'm taking a guess here, but I'm pretty sure none of us owned a Neo Geo or knew anyone that had a Neo Geo. I didn't.
I knew a kid that owned it.
There was one kid at Clear Spring that did have one.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew a kid that owned one, but he would never let anyone touch it because he only had one game. And
did he have Art of Fighting?
I think that was
it's either one. It's either no kids or it's just one fucking kid. If you ask anybody,
yeah, that's what.
I think like Art of Fighting came with it for a while.
As it should.
No problem.
But
like $500 each.
No, they were about like between $150 and $200 because they were essentially just the arcade boards.
Yeah, that's why they were so fucking
that's
huge.
It was literally just the arcade board, like the ROM board, just put in a cartridge.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go around here across the table. Start with Melo. What do you give Shadow Dancer 1 out of 5?
It's such a difficult rating for me to give because I believe from a game from 1990, it's actually fairly well made, and I actually understand why it's as hard as it is, but I never want to play it again. So, like, I have to give it like a spiteful 3.
A spiteful 3. That's fair. That's fair as fuck.
That's better than average.
Much generous than this guy's about
I
to give
think it's better made than average. I think that's fair. I just don't like it.
Optic?
My score?
What do you give Shadow Dancer?
0.
Oh, come on.
0.
Oh,
0. Jesus Christ.
It was a goddamn mess.
Oof, that is brutal. But hey, opinions, man. Last but not least, Tannen, my man, what do you give Shadow Dancer?
Well, you said 1 to 10.
1 to 5.
1 to 5.
You could do 10.
5 being the best, 1 being the worst.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 3. It's not a bad game. It's not a bad game, but it's not the greatest game ever.
0.
I mean, is it a game that, like, I definitely want to, like, go back and, play over and over? Not really. Yeah, you gave it to me. I played it for a little bit. It's okay.
Put in the
I'm
other
not gonna
Shinobis.
Yeah, well, compared to the other Shinobis, I mean...
Yeah. Play Shinobi 3 and then get back to me.
Right. Like, go play that. You'll have a better time.
Well, that's not fair. You get a fucking horse in that game. You can't compete.
They had the technology to put a horse in the game. They chose not to. They gave you a dog.
Yeah, but a horse doesn't immediately make things good. A perfect example is that Back to the Future
3.
Oh, fuck. For Sega. Yeah, oh my god. If you give me that now because he said that, Tannen, I swear to fucking God. No, that means you got to play it too. I don't think you would even go to that link to yourself. I'm going to give it a 4.
It'd be the shortest review ever. I played it for 5 minutes, gave up, and I never want to play it again, and I destroy any copy I visually see.
Exactly. I give Shadow Dancer a 4. I love this game. For me, I think it's highly addicting. Just that grindy. I just got to go back and keep. Yeah, it's hard as fuck, but a good kind of hard. And for someone who Castlevania is my favorite game series of all time, it's right up my alley. It's not perfect, but I feel like I have way more fun in this game than I should, but I do. And I got to be honest, I love Shadow Dancer, and I would recommend it. It's not the best Shinobi game by far, but it's really enjoyable for me. And I'm glad that everyone kind of had a different take on it. And if everybody agreed, this shit would be boring as fuck. So I'm glad we did it. The Band-Aids ripped off. That Shadow Dancer, check it out for yourselves, guys. Get your own prerogative. Don't listen to us. Get out there, check it out. The Genesis collection is not too pricey. And worst case scenario, emulate that shit.
If you like bullet hells and you like hard games, it should be right up your alley. It is playable. I just never want to play. I find it frustrating.
Yeah. If you hate yourself enough.
If you like Mega Man 9, it should be right up your alley.
0.
All right.
Go play.
Be honest.
Go play Revenge of Shinobi or Shinobi 3.
I died 40 times, and I refused to stop playing it until I beat the first boss. So there's something to it.
It's that never say die attitude from up north right there, Melo. I appreciate it.
It's all out of spite.
Canada.
Tannen, I feel like Ted Allen on Chopped. It's chopping block time. It's your turn. Your game of the week for next week.
Well, you told me not to give you an ocean game. And that made me a little upset.
Made you want to do it more?
I definitely have an ocean game for you. I definitely have an ocean game for you. I feel like I'm on an ocean kick with you. And this is a game I've never even really played, but I saw it in the list when going through, Flintstones games, and I thought, man, I bet you that game was a piece of shit. Your game this week is going to be Dennis the Menace.
Oh my fucking God!
Dennis the Menace for the Super Nintendo.
Jesus Christ!
Is that another ocean game?
Who made that?
It is an ocean game.
Oh, you swerved me! Jesus fucking God! Oh. Well, if anything, you're going to look great on Walter Matthau on the thumbnail, so there's that, I guess. It's the little things.
Yo. Silver lining.
And we also agreed before we went on here, since we have guests, maybe put you guys' head together. I don't know if we're going to do 2. The guests have a game of the week for us next week, so what do you got for us, guys?
Well, I have one. I don't know if Melo will agree with this one, but this is going to be a little treat. It's actually going to be a good one.
Okay.
Guardian Legend for NES.
Oh shit!
I love that game. I'll play that.
A good one.
Yeah.
See, he's a good friend.
I'll play the shit out of that.
There is a level in there where shit moves so fucking fast, and you have to do this fucking boss fight while all this shit fucking whips at you that it pissed me off so bad when I was a kid that I almost threw my goddamn NES out the fucking window.
I think I actually understand your reaction.
Yeah, because there's like a couple levels that kind of repeat, and one of them is one where it goes so zippy fucking fast that everything is whipping by you that you can't even fucking shoot it down. With your fucking thing, that it becomes so fucking hard, and it's mostly about dodging, and then you just get to this one fucking boss fight, and you're just like, I hate this fucking game. But the game is fucking great. Everything about this game is great.
All right. Well, never say this.
Play Guardian Legend?
Never say this show's not eclectic, because we couldn't ask for 2 games that were any more different. So next week, Dennis the Menace and Guardian Legend. Yes.
Oh God, do I have to play Dennis the Menace too?
I mean, you don't have to. I mean,
no, if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Damn it.
This has been a hell of a time. So glad you guys could finally make it on the reset button. We haven't had a guest this entire season, and it's good to have one again. Before we get out of here, one more time.
Yeah, it's really nice, yeah.
Melo Duty, start with you. Where can everyone catch you once again, all that you do?
Remember, I'm the silver medal. You can find me at Twitter at DOtty, and you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/DOtty. New Jack approved, baby. Love ya.
Thank you again, Melo, for taking time into doing this. Yeah, we'll see you on the Melee.
Absolutely.
The man with the golden hand, with his pen dipped in ink, squeezed out of Satan's squid itself. Optic Decay, man, one more time. I don't even know what the fuck that means. It's late. Where can everyone catch you, man?
You can catch me on Twitch at Broken Optics, and you can find me on Twitter at Optic Decay. And yeah, I hate Shadow Dancer, and I hope the people that worked on that game are no longer working in the industry.
Hope you lost your wife and your house and your pets.
Yeah,
Blacklisted.
I hope their children give them stern looks every day when they wake up.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Just hovering over them as soon as they open their eyes in bed.
I hope their pets fucking bite them. That's where I'm at.
Thank you again, man, for doing this. And we will be back on Super Curmudgeon Brothers, debuting on your channel. Brand new show. Put the announcement up on Twitter. Guys, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a blast. More of this. More of the same good shit. Getting shit fired back up again over your channel. So happy to be a part of the relaunch and look forward to that. Yeah. One more time. Tannen. Another one in the books, man. Reset button. Where can everyone catch you? All that goodness.
You can catch me at Tannen's Bomb on Twitter. And
I never know why that's funny, but it's funny. So
Does he
because
pop
you made a
himself with
freaking
his
montage of it too. You made a montage of it. That's part of the reason why it's funny. It's like you're always waiting for me to fuck it up.
yeah, our only best of episode is literally just you doing your plug for 30 minutes. All the highlights of that. That was it. It's great. It was so easy to edit together.
Amazing.
You should definitely check out our Reset Button Facebook page. I feel like it doesn't get enough love. And Travis, I just sent you something since you mentioned me being Walter Matthau next week. So make sure you check your messages.
Oh, you want me to do the one with the chiclets in your mouth? Oh man.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
You have to now.
Well, I feel like after play, this is going to be such a lame segue, but fuck it. After playing that game, we're going to be a bunch of grumpy old men. As always on Twitter, at the HibickyTMD. Hit that red button down below. Subscribe all the goodness, retro gaming, pro wrestling, goodness, retro gaming, pro wrestling, heavy metal podcast, Terry Belay's bullshit, everything in between. Get your official HibickyTMD merch, unionsmack.bigcartel.com. Brand new shirt up. Thank you, Optic Decay. Adorable Alan Abernathy shirt. He might be done with E-Feds, but he's not done. Look for him popping up sooner than later on the channel. And like Optic said, catch me, Broken Optics on Twitch. Whenever we decide to do it, day of the week. Used to be the Monday Night Melee. Now it's just the Melee. Usually Monday through Thursday. Save that over there. Until next week, I am spent. This is the Reset Button. Tannen. That's it.
There